As Mr. Roberts pointed out, he does have an extremely lengthy criminal history. I do think this seems to be quite the pattern of behavior when the defendant is drinking.
This is case number 252921FY. Appearances, counsel?
Lawrence on behalf of the people.
Jacob Roberts on behalf of Mr. Johnson, who is seated at the table to my right.
Thank you. You may be seated. Looks like we're here for plea and sentence, so I assume we've got a resolution. Ms. Lawrence, I almost called you Miss Carey.
There is, Your Honor. It's my understanding the defendant has agreed to plead guilty to an added count 2 of larceny, 200 or more, but less than 1,000. And the people will dismiss count 1 as well as the habitual offender third offense notice.
Mr. Roberts?
That's our understanding as well.
Mr. Johnson, have you heard what the attorneys have said the resolution in this case is?
Yes, I have.
And is that how you wish to resolve the case?
Yes, I have.
Will you please raise your right hand?
I can give my word. Jesus tells me not to take any oath. I can't take an oath.
Well, I'll just ask you to affirm that you're going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Do you affirm that?
My word, I do.
All right. It's my understanding that you will be pleading guilty to an added count 2 of larceny 200 to 1,000, which is a 1-year misdemeanor and or a fine of $2,000 or 3 times the value of the property taken. In exchange for that plea, the people will dismiss count number 1 of larceny $1,000 to $20,000, which is a 5-year felony, and they will also dismiss the habitual offender third notice, which makes that 5-year a 10-year felony. Is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, I understand.
Back on June 30th of this year, were you on probation or parole?
Not that I know. No.
Were you on bond?
No.
Do you remember reading and signing this advice of rights form, talked about your rights to a trial and your rights to an attorney? Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Most importantly, do you understand that by entering a guilty plea today, you'll be giving up the right to have a trial and you won't have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
Other than the plea agreement, has anybody promised you anything in order to get you to plea today?
No.
Has anybody threatened you in any way?
No.
And is it your own free choice to plea today?
Yes.
Are counsel aware of any other promises, threats, or inducements that have not been made part of the record in which to get the defendant to plea?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Then, Mr. Johnson, to the offense that on or about June 30th, 2025 in Herring Township of Wexford County, how do you plead to larceny $200 to $1,000? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In order to accept that plea, I must have you tell me what it is that makes you guilty. So what happened back on June 30th of this year?
No. I had been with my brother. I was drinking, and I asked him to drop me off the Hope Shelter because that's where I've been staying. Well, that's how I do stay still, the Hope Center, because they've been helping me pretty well. I was going to try to ask them for a mercy night in because I don't normally drink, but that day I decided to because I had been out of town working for 3 weeks in the trees, trying to save up money so I could get a license in a car, so I could find a decent job rather than working in the trees. I chose to get drunk that one morning, lasted through the day, and it was just, I don't understand it. It was like a spiritual struggle. I know better not to drink. I didn't want to, but yet I gave into it for some reason. So I definitely was looking for help on that, but he dropped me off at Walmart, and I don't remember going in, but as I was sitting there, when I come through out of a blackout, I looked and there was a bag of wine in the bag in the thing there. So I'm like, well, I can't quite. So I thought about just taking it to go to get something to eat. So I did that, and then I was going to take it to the Hope Shelter.
What is it that you were taking?
It was a little shopping cart thing. Yeah, my ankle was hurt pretty
Like
bad.
the scooter, the electric cart, the electric.
handicap,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, the scooters,
cart.
okay.
Yeah, so I was gonna ride that back to the shelter. And I decided to go through Taco Bell first.
Did you have permission from Walmart to take that
No, only.
scooter?
Nobody said, yeah, because, I was wrong for taking it.
Okay, but I just want to make sure you didn't have permission to take it.
No,
All right. And was it at Taco Bell that you were caught with it?
yes.
What was your intent after you took it? What was your intent with this, to do with the scooter?
Well, I had intended on riding it back to the Hope Center. Eventually taking it back to Walmart, but I was still taking it back to the Hope Shelter.
Okay,
So I still took it without permission.
all right. And would you agree with me that that was here in Wexford County?
Yes,
All right. Do council believe that the defendants provided a factual basis in which to accept the plea and that the court rules have been complied with?
Yes, Your Honor.
We do as well, Your Honor.
As does the court, I find the plea is knowing, voluntary, and accurate. Mr. Johnson, I find you guilty of larceny of $200 to $1,000 pursuant to the plea agreement. The larceny, 1,000 to 20,000, and the habitual third offense notice will be dismissed at the time of sentencing. Ms. Lawrence, are we able to sentence today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any allocution, Mr. Roberts?
Yes, Your Honor. A few comments, some of which relating to what Mr. Johnson indicated. He is staying at the Hope Center. We have had a communication with one of the supervisors of the Hope Center that indicate that he is compliant with their rules and that he is working with them to find more consistent employment. Among their rules is that he can't bring alcohol onto the premises. He's also indicated to me that he's taking other steps with the Hope Center to help him with his use of alcohol and help him find better outlets. Additionally, as he indicated in his arraignment and as he indicated earlier today, he was working trimming trees. Mr. Johnson has disclosed to me and has to disclose to this court that he does have a number of health issues that make that labor untenable for him. So again, he is working with the Hope Center to find better employment that suits his condition. We understand that Mr. Johnson understands he does have a lengthy criminal history, particularly outside of the state of Michigan. We ask this court to consider that Mr. Johnson is working with the Hope Center. He is starting to volunteer with the Hope Center as well to try and get himself back on the right track. We would ask this court to consider either fines and costs or a short term of probation. Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm also going through.
I'll give you a chance in just a second, okay? Ms. Lawrence, any allocution?
Thank you, Your Honor. As Mr. Roberts pointed out, he does have an extremely lengthy criminal history. I do think this seems to be quite the pattern of behavior when the defendant is drinking. For those reasons, I would ask for a short term of jail. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, you do have the right to address the court. Is there anything you'd like me to know?
Yes, I'm also going through Michigan Works and Gil Staffing. I do understand my situation is not good, and I really have been working hard at, maintaining sobriety. I've been pretty sober for the last 3 years, and I have been getting hooked up with another agency as of yesterday. I was going to call them after I find out what's going on more of what's going to happen to me. Get started with that. They have seemed like a better opportunity. I ran into them Monday afternoon at the Hope Center, and I have a card in my wallet. Give you that. I would like to ask for probation to give me more of an incentive not to drink, so I can be stronger minded and have that hanging over my head and give me a harder reason to fight for not drinking.
Did I hear you say you had been sober for about 3 years?
Yes,
How did you do that?
it was hard work. I went to a sober living place in California for a while, and I did fall into drinking last year for about 8 days in May, and that's when I got run over by a truck, broke my ankle, 3 of my ribs, the whole right side of my body, imploded a little bit of my upper right lung, found out that I've got a herniated stomach, which pushes my esophagus into my lungs, about an inch and a half up. So it's with a lot of exercise and work, I'm able to breathe a little better than I used to. And carry on a conversation as well. I'm currently involved. I found a congregation that I like, First Baptist Church. It's across from the library on the Main Street side.
By the Shell station?
Yes.
Mhm.
I really like that one. There won't be a service this week, but there's another church that I'll go to in place. So there's something to do, but I plan on getting involved a little more with that congregation as well. They've got discipleship programs and many other things that I can be busy doing rather than just looking for trouble or falling into trouble.
So I'm also the sobriety court judge, and I know that that church you mentioned, they're in the process of putting together. It's a recovery church or a sobriety church, so I know that that's in the work also. Are you doing any type of recovery programs?
Not at this point in time. I planned on it.
Have you done them in the past?
Um,
I know you said you went to this, so you went to sober living.
I did some AAs
Okay,
and that's pretty much it. AAs, celebrate recoveries and congregations. So they're churches.
okay. And you are asking to be put on probation in order to help you stay sober.
Yes,
And do you think that you can do that? Because the last thing I want to do is set you up for failure.
yes, I can do that.
Is there anything else?
No, Your
Ms. Lawrence, was the cart returned to Walmart?
It was, Your Honor.
Is there any restitution requested?
No, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Johnson, you acknowledged it through your attorney, and Ms. Lawrence has acknowledged it. And I remember going through your history at your arraignment, and you are no stranger to the criminal justice system. You've got 39 convictions in your past, kind of across the board, but I suspect a lot of it might have something to do with alcohol use. Am I correct on that?
Yes, you do.
Ms. Lawrence, do I remember at the arraignment, there were open intoxicants in the little the scooter?
Yes, there was. Officers did find a receipt for those items that.
So back on July 1st, Mr. Johnson, I'd put you on a period of bonds to not consume any alcohol or any type of substances, including recreational marijuana. I have not had any bond violations. So how have you been doing with not drinking so far?
Good. I don't even desire it.
Okay. All right, I am going to put you on a period of probation. I'm going to do 12 months probation. During that time period, you're not to violate any law. A report is ordered, not leave the state without the consent of your probation officer, and keep your contact and employment information current. The reason I'm putting you on probation is basically because you asked for it, and you've asked that for a tool to keep you sober. So I want to help give you that tool. You do have the right to be released early from probation. So at the halfway mark, if you've done everything that we've asked you to do and you've not had any violations or anything to cause the court concern, you can be released at that halfway mark. Now, generally, your probation officer would file a document with the court, but if they don't feel that you should be released early, you can petition the court on your own to be released early at that 6-month mark. Okay. During the period of probation, I'm going to order that you not consume any alcohol, including recreational marijuana or illegal drugs. I don't want you swapping one thing for another. You'll be subject to testing pursuant to your probation officer. I'm going to order that you not enter any bars where the primary source of income is the sale of alcohol. No alcohol or illegal drugs where you reside. I'm not going to order that you attend a recovery program, but I'm going to highly suggest that you consider that.
Yes, thank you.
I'm also going to order any drugs and alcohol counseling that your probation officer feels as though would be appropriate, along with any additional programming that they feel necessary. Do you have a high school diploma?
GD,
You have a GED?
yes.
So there will be a $75 crime victim rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $100 fine, $100 court costs, $100 attorney fee. Probation, I'm only going to charge you half of the probation amount. So that is going to be $180. If you stay longer than that 6 months, you'll be required to pay the monthly probation fee after that. It looks like there was 1 day jail, so I'll impose a 1 day jail with 1 day credit. So you've sat your time for that. Mr. Johnson, I must inform you that even though technically it's time served, I did impose a jail sentence. So if you decide that you want to appeal that decision and would like an attorney to do that and cannot afford one, you have 14 days from today's date in which to request the appointment of an attorney. Also, any balance that remains unpaid for more than 56 days by operation of state law will have a 20% penalty assessed to that. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
All right. Ms. Lawrence, anything I've missed in a judgment of sentence?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Roberts?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, I know it's a hard thing that you're struggling with and trying to overcome. I wish you the very best with that, and hopefully the probation department is going to be able to help you with that. I also wish you the best for employment and housing as well. I know that those aren't two easy things to deal with, so best of luck.
Thank you.
I'll need you to go back out to the front window where you checked in, get a copy of your judgment, make payment if you're able to, and then go downstairs and get signed up for probation. All right, thank you.
God bless you all.
Hey, thanks for watching. Please do let us know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you'd like to support what we do here, the best way to do it is to pick up some of our merch. You can find it at courtroomfiles.com.